Thank you for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. Coming up, two MPs meet to discuss constituency development for their residents. The education sector flourishes under the DLP administration, and a high-level delegation pays an official visit to Dominica. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
A lot of bathtubs are blamed for bruises. Some staircases are accused of being responsible for broken bones. Doors are occasionally viewed suspiciously as causing lesions. A high percentage of tables are accused of producing bleeding or trauma. Violence against women is a crime, and it's everyone's responsibility. It's inexcusable. If you're a victim or witness of physical or psychological violence or abuse, seek help and denounce the perpetrator.
Thanks for staying with us. The Honorable Parliamentary Representatives for the La Plaine and Mont Jean Riviere Civic constituencies were part of a panel discussion last Friday, October 31st, where they focused on developments in their different constituencies. The atmosphere was town hall style, and all present were able to ask questions, make suggestions and comment. The Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, Education and Human Resource Development Minister and MP for the La Plaine constituency, was first to share his opening remarks.
For us in the Dominica Labour Party, the Roosevelt Skerrit administration, our vision is to create a better Dominica for every Dominican. One where every individual in the Commonwealth of Dominica, no matter his color, class, creed, sexual orientation, can enjoy what Dominica has to offer. How do we achieve this objective? We believe that within the Dominica Labour Party, that every individual must have an equal voice. How can that be achieved? The premise on which we achieve that is by educating the masses.
His stance is that in matters of education, the East was neglected by governments prior to the current DLP leadership. The Honourable Parliamentary Representative for the Mont Jean Riviere Civic constituency, Ivor Stevenson, in his opening remarks, was proud to report that his constituency has seen notable achievements under his representation.
I want to tell you that since I have served as a Parliament in just 4 years and 8 months, it's not as they say out there. They tell you about 15 years and 10 years and all this, so many years, never have achieved nothing. But since I have been here, I can tell you that I have created history in the Mont Jean Riviere Civic constituency. Those of you who have yet not seen and want your eyes to see for you to believe, you take a drive in Riviere Civic, you drive in Mont Jean, you drive in Grand Fond, and the constituents are telling you today that is the first time that a Parliament have worked so much in such a short term in this constituency.
The discussion was moderated by Mervyn Paul, and other panelists were Principal Advisor to the Prime Minister Edward Lambert, Vanya Ilwa, a La Plaine constituent, and John Tousse, a Mont Jean Riviere Civic constituent. The forum was also attended by His Excellency Dr. Vince Henderson, Dominica's permanent representative to the United Nations, and Dr. Eisenhower Douglas, economist in the Ministry of Finance. In more news, the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the DLP administration has spent significant financial resources on education and human resource development over the last 14 years. The Dominican leader, in his address to the nation on Wednesday, referred to the accomplishments within the education sector, including its efforts to encourage universal access to education.
We have made education available to all Dominicans, achieving universal secondary education by 2005. We are now on target to achieve universal early childhood education and a graduate in every home by 2015. One of the benefits of universal access to education is its independence of thought. Hence, during the past 14 years, more and more people have become aware of the need to protect and preserve our environment instead of destroying it and adding to the threat of climate change. Also embedded in this modern education that is now available to all Dominicans is an emphasis on enterprise. One of the greatest needs of Dominica is a larger pool of entrepreneurs, men and women, who have the skills and other resources to grow and diversify the economy. That is why, during the past 14 years, your government has intensified its support to both the established private sector as well as the potential entrepreneurs who need a helping hand to get the businesses going.
Honorable Prime Minister Skerrit also spoke of efforts by the DLP administration to provide reliable, efficient and affordable energy for Dominica.
Within the previous 14 years, your government has invested over $54 million on the exploration and development of geothermal. With the support of our carefully chosen partners in development, we are on the threshold of producing geothermal energy in commercial quantities by 2016. This will make electricity affordable for lighting up our homes and streets and driving our machinery. Already, the government of France has given its commitment to increasing its investment in this project with a view to supplying electricity to Martinique and Guadeloupe. Cheaper electricity will also boost our manufacturing sector.
Meantime, the Dominica leader has called for a peaceful election campaign. Dominicans go to the polls on December 8th.
I pray God's guidance and His protection in the conduct of this campaign. We will differ on policies, we will differ on personalities, but let us never lose sight of the need to keep the best interest of Dominica forefront in our conduct, utterances, and actions.
From November 4th to 6th, a high-level delegation of the Sacred Military Constantinian Order of St. George paid an official visit to the Commonwealth of Dominica. The high-level delegation was led by His Royal Highness Prince Charles of Bourbon II Sicilis, Duke of Castro and 59th Grand Master, and His Eminence Renato Raphael Cardinal Bertino, Cardinal Protodeacon of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. Courtesy calls were paid on both His Excellency President Charles Savre and Prime Minister the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. The delegation also met with other officials including former President, His Excellency Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, and His Lordship Gabriel Malzer, Bishop of Roseau. On November 5th, a brief exchange of honors was conducted at the State House. His Excellency Charles Savre awarded a Meritorious Service Award to Prince Charles of Bourbon of Sicilis, Duke of Castro for charitable and community service to Dominica, strengthening of religious faith and participation in preservation and restoration of faith institutions in Dominica. In turn, the rank and dignity of Knight Grand Cross of Merit of the Sacred Military Constantinian Order of St. George was bestowed on His Excellency the President and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for the nation's contribution to enriching its Christian identity through charitable work and its humanitarian endeavor and interreligious harmony. The awards were bestowed by virtue of their office held in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The main purpose of the high-level visit was to launch a series of major charitable projects on the island.
Your Excellency, the Order has agreed to support here in Dominica several important projects, such as the restoration of Our Lady of Fair Haven Cathedral and the building of the Diocesan Youth Center, which is being renovated with support from the Order. The renovation of both the St. Peter's Presbytery in Collie Hout and Our Ladies of Mount Carmel Retirement Home are also part of the project that the Order has agreed to fund.
On behalf of my wife and myself, and on behalf of the government and people of the Commonwealth of Dominica, I thank Your Royal Highness and Your Excellency for your contributions to the strengthening of the infrastructure and, by extension, our faith itself. I assure you that every Dominican citizen and our many visitors who pass through our cathedral doors are and will be extremely grateful.
The Sacred Military Constantinian Order of St. George is an internationally recognized Roman Catholic order of knighthood headquartered in Rome. The official visit to Dominica was part of a wider regional visit. The delegation also visited Antigua, St. Vincent, and Barbados. On Tuesday, November 4, 2014, GIS News dispatched 5 teams to the hills and valleys of this island to confirm the existence of the spirit of Kudme. A Creole word used to describe volunteerism, Kudme practically built this island. From early on Tuesday, Dominicans came out in numbers to help clear and repair roads and drains, build recreational facilities, and beautify streets and sidewalks, among several other initiatives designed for the good of the community. From the hundreds of projects, large and small, that we caught on our cameras on Tuesday, here are a few which stood out. As GIS News traveled the east of the island, we captured the true Kudme spirit as it manifested itself in the people of Jalousie in Castle Bruce. Residents of the area gathered to take on a beautification project along the Jalousie Road, which one resident explained is a year-round activity.
Every year Jalousie people, we clean up every year, and we always beautify our village. And not a matter of fact, not waiting for the community service, we always doing it before the community service.
The Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Castle Bruce constituency, Johnson Drago, was present to give support to his constituents. The MP told GIS News that he is quite moved by the spirit of community, which inspired the people of that area to undertake the project by their own incentives.
This is one of the projects by self-motivation, you call that. As I told you earlier, there are about 8 to 10 major projects funded by the government for National Day of Community Service. But the community people themselves are motivated to undertake small projects, beautification projects, on National Day of Community Service. And we're happy we are in the Jalousie area, and the women and the men of Jalousie are in fact beautifying. They're actually assisting the ladies who are part of the National Beautification Program under the NEP. So we are very happy that they came out on their own. I'm happy for what they're doing, and it augurs well for the community in general. There are several other projects like this one I will visit after we have left this area. But generally, I'm very happy for what is happening in the Castle Bruce constituency on this National Day of Community Service.
We moved to the village of Penville in the north of the island, where the villagers, with the help of the village council, came out to repair a bus stop in Lower Penville. That bus stop was in need of a facelift and also a new roof, with a slight change to the entrance of the bus stop. Justin Dubois, chairman of the village council, spoke to us about the extent of the repairs and how men as well as women contributed to Community Day of Service in the area.
I think it's a very important project for the community, because it was in a very bad shape, dilapidated shape, and then the roof was about falling down, so we are changing all that. Of course, we have gotten material from government, and then council will be providing, the village council will be providing the food and drinks and so on, but more or less the food. And then, so we got enough material from government, apart from some few blocks we needed to finish our task, but we can do with what we have, and we are very much grateful for what we have got. Of course, we have other projects going throughout the community, as it's a large village. It's a village with about 5 hamlets, and so we have projects going through in the Upper Penville going on to Carib. They're doing some cleaning and decoration, cleaning the drains, unblock the culverts and so on, and then planting flowers and so on, making the village look beautiful.
In the south, Loubier to be exact, GIS News came upon a team led by the Loubier Village Council, dedicated to the task of building a step to the beach. Not your typical project, but this increasingly popular beach is not your typical beach. Rosamond Lebre is the village council chairperson. She explained the presence of both young and old toiling in the hot Caribbean sun.
For proper access for everyone, but particularly for the elderly of the community and otherwise. The sole purpose is that to access, we had lots of bricks, heavy bricks, and most persons had difficulties in reaching the beach. So we decided, the council, to build the steps, so we give them proper access to have a proper bath.
In the southwestern community of Bafa State, a young group of pioneers, namely the Rotaract Club of Roseau, joined in the Community Day of Service activities. Club members undertook a project to repaint 3 pedestrian crossings on Valley Road, in Roseau specifically, the crossing in front of the Dominica Grammar School, the crossing located next to the Alliance Française, and lastly in the area outside the Roseau Primary School. Club President Shanda Carbon relayed with GIS the objective behind this initiative.
We realize that a lot of students commute in these areas, and many times the students have problems crossing the road. So we wanted to repaint the crossing so that drivers as well as students alike would be aware that there are areas where they can assist. And we got help to do this project from the Ministry of Public Works as well as the local government, and our director of the Community Service Committee officer did a very good job in sourcing the materials for this project. We have with us on hand as well a police officer from the traffic department, that's Inspector Laura, and as you see we have our cones and our signs, and the motorists are cooperating, so when we block off one area of the road, they're using the other side. So we have no problems with people shouting at us, nothing like that, because everybody realizes it's a very good project, so we're happy for that.
The club was also assisted by a few members from the Interact Club of the St. Martin's Secondary School and a student from the Dominica Grammar School. Carbon also thanked the Ministry of Public Works, Energy and Ports, as well as local government for the provision of materials for the successful completion of the project. A tour of the Southeastern District brought to light the eagerness of persons to serve their community. It was evident in the excitement of the Labour Youth Organization in La Plaine, who turned out to give assistance by doing yard work for elderly persons of their community. Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, who was also on site, expressed his satisfaction.
I am pleased to see the involvement of youth in the project because to a very large extent that will determine continuity and sustainability of the project. So the fact that youth are involved speaks volumes. It tells us that we anticipate that this thing can only grow. As far as community involvement is concerned, I think it is right across board. There are people of all walks and ages and social backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds who are involved in the projects, and that is good.
Still in La Plaine at Balisier, another large group turned out to work on the road. An enthusiastic worker spoke about community spirit in the area.
It's very good, very good. People that wasn't there last year, and I seen faces, new faces on this road this year, like Robin, Ab, Eileen, Cornell, a set of people there, and it turned very well this year.
Okay, so you seem excited about what's going on.
Yes, very excited.
Community spirit was also evident in an elderly man who was hard at work on the Baghdad Road in Montjean. He explained that even as a young man, he worked every community day of service and has not stopped since. In Grand Fort, a large number of persons turned out to construct concrete seats and to build a shed at the community market site. Chairperson of the council says community spirit is high despite political differences.
The only thing that I'm not afraid to mention, during time of election politics, you will find everybody supports their own political party. But after this has happened, or it is happening all now, so you will find the people will still come together. That spirit of togetherness is always there. That spirit of cooperation is always there. And that spirit of support to the council is always there.
And who better to speak about community spirit than Julius Daru, who recently received a Meritorious Service Award for community work. He says Kudme has been challenged by various issues, including migration. Yet one thing is certain, the community spirit is still high in many parts of the nation. Daru had this advice to keep the spirit alive.
What I have to say is the community is ours, not government's. It's our community. We live here. The government lives in Roseau. They have their office in Roseau. We may have ministers or parliamentarians living around, but the government is in Roseau. So what we do in our community is for us, the people of the community. So I would advise people to take control of their community and work to better their community.
And that's the English news. McPherson Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit Ka fait parole qui gouvernement Dominique teni a mette bon mission en place pour chaîne développement pays là à tête. Honorable Skerrit fait parole cela pendant il annoncé qu'il le 8 décembre qui Dominique Tchèque voté pour un gouvernement neuf. Et des gouvernements Dominique expériencé économie là à monter en ces 14 années là qui passent. Premier ministre Skerrit dit programme social qui a bénéficié moun vulnérable pays là qui continue en parmi relations et puis People's Republic of China, Venezuela ensemble et puis Morocco en parmi d'autres. Gouvernement aussi bien plaisir pour te taper l'eau et puis l'intérêt qui bien pas en parmi grant, ça c'est l'argent nous parler pour payer vivre. Premier ministre a dit relations développement qui aussi continue et puis institutions internationales qui déjà assisté Dominique bien bon. Ça fait développement infrastructure, culture, éducation aussi mentionné comme développement Dominique Labour Party tapé par Dominique. Premier ministre Skerrit mentionné comme un gouvernement qui restait bien pris et puis population pays. Et dépendant l'adresse pour nation là qui parlement dissolvé, journée nomination que le 19 novembre l'année salam et puis élection générale qui a le 8 décembre l'année 2014. En autre nouvelle, une grande délégation Secret Military Constantinian Order of St. George qui a visité Dominique Simen-Salam. Raison pour visite là, c'est pour lancer un sérieux projet charitable en affaires éducation, welfare community et puis pour joindre et puis mon religion. Organisation ça là c'est une qui reconnue international et puis l'office en Rome, Italie qui a défendre la foi catholique et puis activité tout en latin. Délégation là attendait en la messe qui célébrée par cardinal Kelvin Felix et puis aussi visité projet l'église catholique en Roseau. Délégation là aussi joint et puis Excellency président Charles Savin et premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. You aussi one l'honneur à ce premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. On a de nouvelles bateau touriste au Germany a si manifeste pour venir ici saison touriste là. Parole là sur le General Manager Dominica and Seaport Authority DASPA, M. Benoit Badwell.
Nous ni bateau qui vient comme que allemand, mon ordre allemand, saison passée il fait 11 visites Dominique. Et saison ça il a fait 22 visites. C'est ça bon pour nous parce que les bateaux ça viennent 90 nous descend personne en moun la ka descend hot bateau avec toutes ces taxis yo ka dire comme que laisser moun allemand là venir ici yo tout catapé trop avec ça c'est ça nous voulons comme que nous voulons plus moun qui ka apprécier en beauté naturelle yo les yo vinn Dominique pour aller tout loin yo ça aller en pays Calinaro yo ça aller waterfalls yo ça aller tout partout yo ça aller plonger aussi pour ça ouais toute sorte qualité beauté so nous ca demander tout le monde à Dominique pour prendre garde faire ces touristes là bienvenue les vins Dominique et puis nous voulons saison ça passer sans rien so nous ça dit ces monde là nous cal parler ba yo Dominique c'est premier pays pour venir.
Et puis finalement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, bien plaisir que Moun Penville a tapé une ressource centre neuf. Groundbreaking ceremony prend place la semaine passée où le projet ça l'a lancé. Honorable Skerrit dit projet ça l'a autant important qu'une communauté ça l'a qui a tapé support Banque Développement Kawaïb tapé pouvoir en septembre l'année passée. Dès l'année après été présenté par banque là. Premier ministre Skerrit dit projet ça là te titak de hier comme banque là te concerné projet comme ça qui déjà financier quand même merci bon Dieu il tapé approval. Honorable Skerrit qui a ce moun Penville pour prendre responsabilité projet ça là c'est sa communauté ailleurs. En même temps aussi ministère Development Community Honorable Gloria Shillingford fait parole comme un ministre bien plaisir pour te lancer projet ça là ba communauté là. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up, how to boost your self-esteem.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Self-confidence is the difference between feeling unstoppable and feeling scared out of your wits. Your perception of yourself has an enormous impact on how others perceive you. The more self-confidence you have, the more likely it is you'll succeed. Dress sharp, walk faster. People with confidence walk quickly. Walking 25% quicker will make you look and feel more important. Good posture and exercise can also help boost your confidence. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching.